Hello and good morning, good evening. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome. If you are new to my channel, my name is not Goliath, but I go by that name here on this public platform. I did recently reach 16,000 subscribers, which to me is just fucking wild. So thank you so much. Clearly, people out there are listening, following me wherever you are. If you want to reach out, you can on Instagram. I try to be present there when I feel like I can. Today, I wanted to talk about telling the truth. A line that always stayed with me from a film. I haven't done a review on a movie in a while. There is a film that I really love, and it's called The Counselor. And it has Javier Bardem, Cameron Diaz, Penelope Cruz, and it is directed by Ridley Scott, and it came out in 2013. So it's been over 10 years since the film came out, and it was originally written by a playwright called Cormac McCarthy, and the screenplay was adapted for the film. And the film has always stayed with me, and I'm going to share why. The film deals with consequence. Life is choices, action, to take action, inaction, which is choosing to not take action, which is also a form of action. And there are so many incredible lines in the film, and one of them is, life isn't going to take you back. When you set something in motion, it's set. And humans are all connected to each other. And the cruelest thing you can do to another human being is lie to them. The cruelest thing you can do is lie. Lying to yourself about who you are, and lying to others about how you really feel or who you are. Because when you lie, you are building a world with another person in that lie. One of the lines that stayed with me in that film was, "Nothing is crueler than a coward." Nothing is crueler than a coward. And that is so true. The result of lying always comes undone. There are so many people out there that are living a lie, living in a lie on so many different levels of society. Whether you're embedded in working for a company that benefits off profiting and hurting other people, and you think that you're helping people, whether you're perpetuating someone else's delusion and agreeing with some kind of insane ideology, you are helping to facilitate that person's lie. We could live in a world where people don't tell the truth, and suddenly you would find that everything would collapse pretty quickly. Because when you start to trace the cords back to the walls, you will see that most things in the human world, like governments, councils, workplaces, laws are lies. And as I'm aging and getting older, I begin to see this. I think it's something that I've always seen since I was a kid, thinking to myself that something feels very, very wrong here in the world with these people. But I learnt very quickly that we don't share everything that we think, because that's not living in the lie with them. And if you want to survive, you have to kind of fit in. You're not allowed to question the status quo. That could be very dangerous. If you are living a lie and you know that you are, when you wake up in the morning, don't bullshit yourself. When you look in the mirror, when you're in the shower, you don't need to have external things to affirm who you are when you know who you are. One of the things that I found interesting is in the Hermetic principles of the laws of attraction or the laws of resonance is that same recognizes same on some level. Generally, where you find a person who is in dysfunction, the people around them will also be in that level of dysfunction, whether aware of it or not. So if someone is living a lie, somewhere in the other person that's around them, they have the same type of lie on another level happening as well. It is said that the sins of the father are the sins of the son. And I've come to understand that that is true. A lot of the time, the skill sets and the cunning and being manipulative and being carefree with other people's hearts and using people is a learnt behavior from their parents. We learn that from our parents. And just like learning things from our parents and other people, we have to unlearn that as well. One of the things that I will say is that a lot of people are in a relationship that they no longer really wish to be in, and they know that it's over, and they're lying to their partner. And they're lying because they have to survive. Most relationships these days are not based on love. Nope. They're based on survival. Most people have to have a partner so that they can have the dual income, so that they can live. Because they wouldn't be able to do it on their own. The cost of living is where it's at right now. But to keep someone in a relationship when you're not in love with them anymore, and to lead someone on, is incredibly selfish and cruel. And that's one of the things that really gets me badly, is that if you're not into me, or if you don't want me, or if you don't think I'm the one, that's totally okay. I understand, of course. But you have to have the courage to tell me that. Because this happens a lot with men that are secretly gay and are closeted. And everyone deep down knows that he is gay. the wife knows too. But if he's the breadcrumb, the breadwinner, he'll breadcrumb her. He'll keep her around. And most of the time, she, the wife, and in some cases the mother of her children, she's not mad that he's gay. Well, she is in a way, but she's mad because of the deceitful nature of lying, of leading her on, because she can't get that time back. Wasting someone else's life around you is unbelievably selfish. Like this destroys people. This destroys souls. Ghosting people, leading people on and just ghosting them and abandoning them is soul destroying to another person. And if enough trauma happens on any level of the body, this isn't something that you can just flip a switch and it's all going to be okay. This is deep psychological trauma, all based off someone being in a lie. And you know what I'm talking about. When you are inauthentic, when you don't show people who you really are, it's all just a complete waste of time. Because if they can't see you and accept you for who you are because you're not showing them that, they can't get to see who you really are. So what the fuck are you doing? Creating a character and just wasting their time, wasting your own, living in an underground lifestyle where you want to have your cake and eat it too. There will be consequences. Everything that we do is being recorded. Everything that we say, our actions and how we impact other people, it all matters. Creating a world with someone in a lie is terrible. The effects of lying are only going to hurt yourself and other people. And this is really horrendous. We have to be willing to tell the truth. When someone says that they are a certain way of being, and we go along with that, we're enabling that lie. Regardless of what the outcome is, we must be willing to tell the truth. Lying has incredible psychological consequences. It can destroy people's self-esteem. Say, for example, someone was a singer. I often find it interesting when I watch shows. I used to watch shows like American Idol or Australian Idol and, shows like that where people would come on to the show and some of them were clearly very mentally ill people. And I don't think it's as bad as what it used to be now, but back in the day, like 20 years ago or so, people would come on that show dressed up in like a bumblebee costume, or they would go into the audition in the trialing auditions and sing for the judges. And what I thought was really cruel was that these people had no melody, they had no tone or tune to their voice. They were not a singer, they could not sing, But in their mind, they truly believed that they were special and that they were a singer. And a lot of them were very young, very, very young people. And so it was very hard to see, because when people would view that, they would enable that. Clearly, their families or people around them actually told them that they should go on the show and try out for the show. And then they'd get on the show and be completely humiliated because they were lied to. A dog is a dog. To tell a dog that it can be a cat isn't going to do the dog any favors. The dog simply is what it is. It just takes integrity these days to try and live a life that's authentic and to be fair with people. We've got people hiding behind faceless profiles that want to engage with you, but they aren't even showing you who they are. And then when you tell them that that's very one-sided, they get confused. They get confused. What the fuck? You have to be really you have to have a very good memory when you lie as well, because you have to remember the lie. If you just tell the truth, then you don't have to remember and work harder than making up some shit. Because at the end of the day, I think that as we get older, the equilibrium starts to really, karma really comes back on us. And the ones that really did the work on themselves, it shows. The ones that don't do the work, it shows. And that goes for just standard living, health, truth. And the effects of it might be hard when you tell the truth to someone, but if you do it from a place of love, then that's okay. If you're able to have the courage to just tell someone, look, I really think you're an amazing person, but I just don't have that spark, or I just don't feel that I'm ready in myself for a relationship right now. And this is where I'm at. And I'm very sorry I've had a change of heart. Just fucking say it. Just ignoring someone like they're just a worthless piece of shit. And it's so crazy that they'd hate someone else to do that to them. How dare someone do that to them? But yet it's okay for them to do it to someone else. It's okay for someone to just be accepting of that level of behavior. They wouldn't like anyone doing it to their son or their daughter, using their son or their own daughter like a sex toy or a doll that they play with, and then discard when they're done because it's all fun and it's all under the guise of not taking things seriously. But yet they're happy to do that to someone else's young son. We see that a lot. Predatory advantages. Leading people on. It depletes people. It scars them. It diminishes them. Yes, the harsh truth of telling the truth is hard, but telling the truth is the best possible thing you can do. Just coming fucking clean. Be honest. I remember a show called Breaking Bad. If you know that show, it was an incredible show with Bryan Cranston. Incredible show. think it was a HBO series. And at the end of the series, Skylar, his wife, asks him, after everything he'd been through, he'd put the family through, from everything he'd created, everything that this character had done, she was sitting on a table with a cigarette and said, "Why, Walt? Why did you do this?" And he said, "Because it made me feel alive." And in that moment, yeah, it's incredibly painful to hear that he had to do all of this to feel alive. But it was the truth, and it's what she needed to hear, because it was able to set her free. The truth will set you free. Living a lie puts chains around your neck. It's putting chains around other people. Living a double agent life, double agent underground lifestyle. We've got lots of closeted homosexuals that use gay men for sex, leading them on, falsifying a connection that keeps that young gay man or that gay man on the hook to think that there's something there, but there simply isn't. They're just leading them on, getting what they can get out of you. And it's very damaging, because what they're doing is they're going to pull that young or that gay man, that young man, back into the closet with them. They're kind of invited or coerced back into hiding, into an inauthentic lifestyle of double agent, where I'm one way with one person and another way with another person. And whatever way that person rationalizes it, it is abuse. It is abuse of power. And it really damages the man that's come out to own his truth. He's owning who he is. And now he's getting pulled back into the closet with someone else just so that person can use them, when the other person won't even come out for themselves, wants to have their cake and eat it too, because they're a coward and they're selfish. And now this other person's a lesser person and getting pulled back into this bullshit of hiding. It's not fair. You must tell the truth. Own what belongs to you. When you're good at something, own it. When you're bad at something, own it. Just tell the truth. I hope that this has gotten through to people. There is nothing more disgusting and more pathetic than a coward. And there will be consequences in the astral world, in the spiritual world. It all means something. How we affect each other, how we treat each other, the worlds that we build with each other. You're not getting off the hook. No one is. And if I had hurt someone in my life, or if I had done something that was very damaging to someone, that wasn't honest or wasn't truthful with them, and they reached out to me and told me, "This is how you really impacted me," I would be fucking horrified. I'd be that's terrible. And I would be like, well, how do I make that right for you? How do I make this right? Please give me a chance to make this right. Let me explain myself. Not just ignore it. Pretend it didn't happen. All right, I'm going to leave it here. Tell the truth. That's what Pinocchio's story was, about a young boy that was coming into telling the truth about virtue. Jiminy Cricket was a reference to Jesus Christ, his conscience on his shoulder. He was led astray by the cat and the fox to this illusion world that isn't real. You can't prolong something that isn't real. Living a lie gets you nowhere. It's an illusion. And wherever there is illusion, there is delusion. All right. Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for your time and have a really, really good day. Okay, bye. Bye.